everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is what, episode 8? I believe is episode 8. I took a break for the last episode. Hello, everybody. My name is Janessa Rivera, Deputy Director with Concilio, and I have my guest who will introduce himself.
Good. Hello, everyone. It's Daryl Plant, the Director of Family Social Services here at Concilio.
So we will be your co-host for today. Today is episode 8, and we are in May celebrating National Foster Care Awareness Month. So as you guys know, every month we highlight a topic. We bring some guest speakers on, some specialists that focus and have some additional information on that topic. And we just try to give you guys, the community, some information regarding what the topic is. And this month we're going to talk about foster care awareness. And why is that so important to us? Well, it's super important to us because Concilio does foster care, right? So I know that Daryl is probably cringing in the back. The community calls it foster care, but it's not foster care anymore, right, Daryl? What is the terminology?
The term that we're going towards in the future is resource family homes because they
Resource
provide.
family homes.
Yes.
And so we no longer are saying foster care parents, we're saying resource parents, right? So that is what we're talking about today. Concilio offers those services. We receive referrals to place children, and we also recruit individuals that are interested in becoming resource parents. We get them the training. We help to get them certified. We get to help them get fully eligible to become a resource parent and take on some of these referrals of children that we receive. So it's very, very important for us to not only talk about it. We have some special guests that they have different experiences within the system and the program, and they will tell us what their experiences have been, being either a resource parent or being a youth that was under foster care. Okay, so we have 2 guests today. Our very, very first guest, her name is Ashley Michael. So let's bring Ashley on board. Hi, Ashley. How are you?
Hi, everybody. Hello.
So Ashley is a guest of ours because Ashley herself has gone through the foster care system, and she's going to give us some insight and some information from her experiences, you know, what she went through, what happened, and where she is now. So Ashley, tell us a little bit about yourself as far as how long were you in, and for the sake of the interviewing, I'm just going to use foster care. How long were you in foster care?
I was in foster care, so I was 1 year old, and then I got adopted afterwards.
Okay. So you were only there from 0 to 1, and then you were adopted?
Correct.
All right. Why would you say, from your experience, why is it important for people to become resource parents or foster care parents?
I believe it really takes a village to raise a child, everyone working together and helping. I'm very thankful for the village that backed me, kept me going and motivated me. That's why I think it's important, and everybody in the world wants love and, wants compassion and all those things. So any way you can help somebody, 10 years down the line, they'll remember that. So I believe it's a great thing. And I'm thankful for the people who helped me.
Were you here in Pennsylvania or Philadelphia?
No, New Jersey.
New Jersey. And so were you originally born in New Jersey as well, and then adopted in New Jersey?
Yes, I was born in New Jersey at home, and I was adopted in New Jersey. I was actually adopted by my grandparents. They actually found me. My grandmom told my grandpa go find her, and they found me, and that's how I got adopted.
So what would you say, right? I mean, in your situation, it was, Daryl, what is it called when a family member adopts a child? It's a specific type of adoption, right?
Kinship.
Kinship. So what would you say? So in your case, right, there you were beneficial enough and fortunate enough to have family members that moved forward with the adoption. What would you say are qualities that you think are needed to be a good resource parent?
Got to be charismatic, got to have empathy. And I believe you have to have a lot of patience because it's not your biological child. So you have to take a little more time with them and get to know them more and understand them. and never give up on them. That's the biggest thing. Never give up on them, and let them know they do have a voice and that you do care. So those are some good attributes to have.
Now, actually, were you ever in foster care prior to? You said,
Nate?
were you in foster care before you went to your parents?
Yes.
Okay. So, can you tell us a little bit about what some of those differences in terms of with the foster care system as opposed to the kinship care?
Yes. So when I lived in foster care with my mom, Charlotte is who I call her, and my stepsister Amber, it was other kids there as well. So it wasn't as like homely, or the transition for me was hard because I was so used to them. And then when I got to go move with my family, I didn't really talk. I was very quiet. It was a very rough transition for me. It took me like a couple years to open up to them. I think that was the biggest difference. But the good thing is she stayed with me throughout the process. So when I did move back home, she still was in my corner, still came to see me. You know, I still had that support from her. So it's a big difference. The transition from there to back home was very hard for me.
And can you talk a little bit about like that? Because I deal with a lot of older teens and things like that, and one of the things I always hear about is um, they don't feel like they're at home sometimes in a foster home. Can you share a little bit about your experiences of how did you feel like you were at home when you were in the foster care, in the foster home, and what is it that some of the resource parents can do to make a child feel more at home, especially on that first day, that first night?
I would say, from my experience, she made it very homely. She always did things I like Barbie dolls and cooking. I feel like you have to ask, get to know them a little more, build that rapport with them. Understand them, because when we come in, we have a lot of emotions, and we might not know how to express those emotions right away. So just like building that rapport and actually, find the little things they like if they like basketball, start going outside playing basketball with them. That gets them to open up more and like, oh, you are listening to me. Because sometimes when you're in foster care and you go to live with a resource parent, you feel like you do not have a voice because from here to there, and you feel like no one's understanding your story or no one understands you. So letting them have that active voice is important.
Yeah, I'm glad you share that because a lot of times when I do pre-placement visits, or even when I do trainings, I talk to the foster parents about the first thing that I feel like everybody can bond over is food, right? So that first night I always talk about, hey, ask the child what their favorite food is, right? And make that for them because I think that's the first step. You walking into that door and it's like, oh, we're bonding over whether it's a pizza or cheeseburger, spaghetti, or whatever that is, that connection I think is established right there on that first day.
I would, one of the things I want to know is, we hear a lot of stories, some not good, some good, of youth that go through the foster care system. And ultimately, what we don't hear enough of are the success stories of individuals that went through the system and have a happy ending. So I wanted you to tell us, tell us a little bit about Ashley now. Tell me all your accolades. What's going on with Ashley now?
So I'm currently getting my master's degree. I also have my bachelor's degree. I'm currently working towards trying to have my own centers someday in New Jersey. Get back ultimately. Um, I would say, having God, being able to be resilient has been through.
I have a question, right? So most of the time, when we're younger, we may perceive things differently, or, we haven't experienced life and we see things through one set of lenses. And then when you get older, sometimes you connect the dots and things look differently, or you understand some things based off of what you've been through. So one of the things I want to ask you, Ashley, is if grown up Ashley could go back in time and talk to young Ashley back when she was in foster care, what are some of the things you would say to her? What are some encouraging words or advice that you would give young Ashley?
You matter. You matter, and your voice matters. And all hope is not.
Okay. So thank you so much, Ashley. I know it's so quick. Everybody, our loyal listeners here know that we try to do so much in such a little bit of time. Our show is only 30 minutes. So for anyone who has any additional questions, or if you want to know more about Ashley, feel free to reach out to us at Concilio, and we will make the link between ourselves and Ashley. We have another guest coming up. Thank you so much, Ashley. We appreciate everything. We have another guest coming up, and I will have Daryl present the guest and also his sneak peek special co-host. He has his own co-host. He's booting me out the way, guys. He has his own co-host.
We can never replace you, Jennifer. Okay, so welcome everyone as we transition from our resource child, who's I'm glad to hear is a success story. I have the pleasure of welcoming one of the newest additions to Concilio. Her name is Miss Shanira Johnson, and she has worked in the field for many, many years. And I'll let her talk about herself as well. I'll let her toot her own horn.
So hi everyone. Hi. First time coming on. And I think just to explain myself, even being a social worker, that I'm always here to help whoever needs help, however I can help. And as I'm coming back into child welfare, I'm currently working in hospice. This is still where my home and my heart is, because our childhood is the very beginning part of our journey. It is so important that we give a child what they need at that very beginning point, so they can go here and flourish throughout the rest of their lives. And I also even worked in a homeless teen shelter. So, I get I've had the experience of seeing our children on so many different levels and so many different facets, that even though when I did leave the field for a couple of years, I found myself coming back. So foster care adoption is a heart to me. Why? Because like I said, everybody needs love. And there, I'm looking at when you ask her that question, like that's a really, really powerful question you asked her when you said on that very first night, how can a foster parent help get a child acclimated to something that smells different? They don't know what a bathroom is in the middle of the night. They don't know who to call on. It's like, so what do we need when we're talking about recruiting foster parents? We talk about just having that unconditional love, period. Our kids go through so much up and down. Even at my age, the generations has changed. The needs of the world has changed. The cost of living has changed. So what are we looking for in a foster parent? Someone that can unconditionally give love. Is not so much about whether that child is yours or not. That you can substitute some love until the parent either get it together, or if you have to go ahead and provide permanency for that child. And it's like, it's going to be a lot of different things that we're going to require. But what we really, really require ultimately is unconditional love. Because parenting doesn't come with a book. It doesn't come the right way. It doesn't come a wrong way. Sometimes it is the struggle of survival. But you giving that child another chance to survive a different way is exactly what we're looking for.
I'm glad you said that, Shanira. How many? I go to another agency, which is a competitive art, so I won't say their name here. And I still see your pictures on the wall there. How many adoptions have you actually worked on that you recall in your career?
Prior to leaving, we were like literally at like 108 over that course of 3 years. I was a supervisor at the agency.
Wow, that's a lot of kids finalizing. Tell me what that experience is, because I see you. We go through this process of adoption. It's a very long, grueling process. It's a lot of paperwork. Can you share with us what that feeling is like with you being in a courtroom with those families and taking it in? Wish we could get back to it after the COVID world is over. But remember, we take the picture with the judge. Tell me what that feeling to you is like.
Oh, I think that's when he say like, what is the reward? That very moment, like that day is like the ultimate reward we get. And it's so cute because the judge will let the kids come up and the kids get excited when they get in a judge chair. They want to stand up. They want to sit, whatever they can do. At that very moment, it's like a brush of fresh air because you now see a person, another child, individual that came out this system who now have a forever home, not just a resource home, a forever home. And it's that moment of just gratitude. I've seen foster parents cry. I've seen kids cry. Yes, we even had some successful adoptions with and POCs with older kids. Like we're talking about permanency. And some people may feel some type of way about being in things we getting from not foster care, but being in a system. But at the end of the day, we still have to have some type of entity that can answer and advocate for our kids that have a better life. So there may be a lot of negative notations around foster care or adoption, but at the end of the day, on that very day a kid get adopted, I see another life just being created again. It's not taken away from anything that happened prior to. It's all about the child and that moment and that new family being able to synthesize and grow together as family. Not like that's my adopted child. No, that's my child. And I think that is so even verbally gratifying for when a foster parent could then say, "Hey, that's not just my pre-adopted child. That's my child now," and cleaning all that verbiage up so they can be just incorporated and meshed in their family.
So at the onset, when we're actually recruiting parents, what do you feel any agency, let alone Concilio, should be looking for at the beginning? And what should a parent be coming in and expecting from their agency?
So I think that I'm always going to start off with patience and understanding, right? Because even our resource parents that come in, everyone comes for a different reason. So why they actually want to be a resource parent. And we, as an agency, we'll take that and we'll understand it. And I know that it sometimes can be tedious because the paperwork is so much, but we also got to make sure that we are following all rules and guidelines of the county in which we are in. So it does become a lot trying to get a foster parent actually certified because there's so many multiple systems. But you as a parent coming in, especially with Concilio, you definitely can see that we're going to be consistent, that we're going to walk with you throughout this process. And even as you have a resource home case manager, you also will have depending on adoption, you will have your core case manager. And it does seem like it's a lot because you have more people coming in your home, but it's going to also be a faster process. The more people that come in, the faster we can get it done, the faster we can get out, and y'all can go about your life. But while you're here, you definitely should be able to expect support and support on whatever levels, however we can do it. And then we also really, really based around safety to ensure the safety of just not our children that are in your homes, but at the end of the day, the home itself. So, there can be requirements, but this is all to ensure that it's safety across the board. And then we're going to start moving and going with the process of seeing what you want to be a forever resource parent. Do you want to be a permanent parent? We don't, things change in there. And it's like one thing we do just look for is that our foster parents have a consistent positive relationship with our children that are coming in, because our children do come in broken. They do, and I say broken, sometimes they come in fragile with missing pieces. And sometimes it takes for you to be able to have to say, you know what, I don't even know how I can fit there, but I'm going to mold myself around it. And I'm going to incorporate you into this family so you know what love actually feel like.
That's so real because I feel like, trauma is starting to be a big word at DHS.
Yeah.
Some of the other counties are throwing around, and having that understanding of trauma and kind of going, foster parents have to put themselves in a place sometimes where the child is, and understanding that healing process, it takes time. It's not like an automatic, situation. It's not, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. No, it takes, like you said, patience. Are there any other characteristics that you look for in your resource and adoptive parents?
Fun. these are kids, right? Kids can't be like, hey, walking the line. Like, no, we want to have a foster parent that's fun, someone that's easily adaptable, because our kids come so different. And like I said, when you go back to ask, what's that favorite meal? Even just taking out that opportunity to be different, ask different questions, be consistent with the kids, knowing how to balance, because I know it becomes a balance because you have your own children in the home, and then making it all to, making everybody fit together when sometimes our regular children just don't always get along some days. So then you incorporate a new person. But just being able to be adaptable, being friendly, being appropriate in your disciplinary actions, especially when you have children that's in the system. We look for someone that's have advocacy. We look for someone who's going to open their mouth and just say, hey, I need this for this child, or hey, I see that this is a need, or maybe this maybe need something that's needed 2 years down the road, but someone's ultimately in tune with whoever comes in and out your home.
And my final question for you before I throw it back to Janessa, I know in a lot of agencies, recruitment has been a struggle. What do you find are some of the most successful ways to recruit resource parents?
I think community events, because I think that, it is when we do community events, other people are gravitating toward that community event for whatever reason. And it's always going to be about awareness and knowledge. But, it's about we getting there, going to the community, even for the community to understand who we are. It's not just like individually with parents. It's like, hey, you may know somebody that needs something done. And it's about making the connection. So it is about the village. And if anybody have any other open activities that we can chime in with our faces, like, hi, this is what we do and this is what we look for. If you feel as though this is for you want to come and be loved and love on our children, hey, come see what we about. So I think one of our big target points of our open opportunities are at the community events.
Going off of that question, I want to know, right? So you mentioned at the other agency that you were at, you had over 100 successful adoptions. And it is no secret that, 100 is great, but we want 1,000, 1,000,000, because there's so many kids out there, right? For every kid that's getting an adoption finalized, we see 1, 2, 3 or more coming into the system. And not only that, we know, as Daryl mentioned, there's such a need for recruiting, and it's very, very important. So as we have it scrolling down, for anyone that's interested, and we have, all of these COVID restrictions are being lifted up, and the agency's getting back to doing these community events, and we're opening our doors in the summer and doing some events. We are, of course, going to recruit, and we're recruiting electronically and virtually, and this is a form of recruiting. Tell us specifically, having worked in the community, knowing who's out there, seeing the referrals, being in the court, seeing the kids that are coming in, what type of parents specifically do the community need? And I don't mean characteristics. I mean, do we need more dads to be resource parents? Do we need more minorities to be resource parents? Do we need more LGBTQ friendly resource parents? Do we need more parents that are willing to take older teens? Do we need more parents that are willing to take teens who have their own children? So let us know the gaps right now, so that the people that are listening and are thinking about being a resource parent, they not only hear how to become a resource parent and where to sign up to be a resource parent, but what are the needs, so that they can really come in and be as productive and impactful as the community truly needs. What are the community's true needs?
And I think, just piggybacking off what you said, we need all of that and more. We need the teachers, we need the psychologists, we need the librarians, we need anybody that can come in and want to make a difference. Yes. And as our generation society is changing, just with technology, just with a lot of different things, and me working at the youth shelter, a lot of our homeless youth was due to their sexuality. And it's like, we want people to also be open to understanding, regardless if that's your views or not. We need non-biased people. We need those who will not discriminate. We need those who will sit back and listen. We need those, even when you don't understand, that you will reach out and figure out how to understand, if it's all about the love of that child. Yes, we need it all. And even if you don't think we need you too. So it's just like, what can you do? We love when we have resource parents that will take in older youth. Yes, that is our struggle, but that's already a struggle within their development. It's not because they're in the system. That's the development they're in. So we need someone that's open to understand that they're going through their hormonal change. They're going through their psychological phases. They're going through all of that. They're trying to figure out who they are. So our teenagers can be a challenge because that's the development they're in, not because they're in the system. The one that's in the
Right.
system needs extra love. So we need it all. We need everyone that is open to being able to provide that love, consistency, and caring for our young people. But we also need those who are willing to understand and open and break down barriers that they may have for themselves, and just be open to understanding that each child is different, whether it's our own or a child in care. We all need.
Agreed. As someone who's an advocate and you know, personally and professionally working with the community, one of the biggest things that I say that I guess we could take away from this too is we should want to strive to be the change that we needed when we were growing up, right?
Yes.
So I would say, right, each one teach one. Thank you
Yes.
so much for all of your information. We appreciate you hopping on and being a guest. I know I'm extremely happy to have you back on board. Daryl's popping back up. So I would say thank you guys. Thank you for providing some feedback to us. You know, these 30 minutes go by so fast. So I will say thank you to all of our guests. And I'm just going to wrap up with some final events and final notes. Do you guys have anything you want to say before we wrap up for the last few minutes?
You have any questions about becoming a resource parent, please give us a call. Daryl, you want to give the number just in case they need to call us?
There's a plug right at the bottom. If you would like to be,
It's scrolling. It's scrolling, guys. It's scrolling.
Yeah, always want
That's
to
the
do
little
that.
tagline.
Yeah.
Thank you again, guys. A wealth of knowledge. Not only do we have a wealth of knowledge in-house, but we have a wealth of knowledge with our resources and referrals externally. So Daryl, here we go. Episode 8, another episode down. At this point, we're like pros, right? We should put this on our resume that we're media influencers. So I will say this is a good episode. You know, it's really, really important for everybody that watch today. If you are interested in becoming a resource parent, or if you think someone in your family would make a good candidate in becoming a resource parent, or you need more information, please reach out to us. You can reach out via our website. You could call us. You could email directly. All of our information is on the website. Daryl is a great resource. I'm a great resource. So you can reach out to either one of us. And as we are wrapping up, there are a couple of events that we have going on. So we have tomorrow, actually, we're going to have a movie night. It was supposed to be outside and the rain was going to get in our way. But you know what? We're problem solvers. So we're bringing the movie night from outside to inside. So we will continue to have a movie night. It's free for the community, but it's specifically for the students of Hopkinson Elementary and Middle School and Deep Roots Charter Elementary School. So for those parents and those families, we will be having a free movie. I believe it's going to be Tom and Jerry at our main offices, 141 East Huntington Park. Come out with your friends, come out with your family, as long as you go to either Deep Roots Charter or Hopkinson. We will have free snacks and we will be showing the movie. We also have our first annual golfing charity event that will kick off in Juniata Golf Course right in our backyard, July 14th. We will be coming strong, not in the summer, but in September. We will be having a smaller version of our fiesta. We will be having a cultural marketplace that will be taking place Saturday, September 25th. And save the date, guys. The Puerto Rican parade is coming back. I know everybody was going crazy last year asking, when is the parade? When is the parade? I started in August and I was getting emails in September like, are y'all still having the parade? So tentatively save the date. Keep your fingers crossed. We have a date of September 26th. So Sunday is that last Sunday in September. The Puerto Rican parade is set to kick off. And we have our summer camp. Our summer camp is going to start June 28th. So we are enrolling right now for our summer camp. We have summer camp for grades kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. Those that are K through 5, they have to specifically be enrolled in Hopkinson School or Deep Roots Charter School. If your children or family members go to those schools, they are eligible to be part of our summer program, and we have a few slots left. They're actually getting really, really packed. We only have 40 slots for Hopkinson, and we have 50 slots for Deep Roots, and those are more than halfway through. And we have a summer program that's going to be a college readiness and career exploration program, both for our middle school and our high school students. So if you're interested in that, that would be something that you reach out to us as well. And if they enroll in that, the middle school and the high school, they get paid, they get a little stipend. So they should come out for that money, right? So they should definitely come out with that. Workshops, money, trips. It's going to be a full day event. So we're doing this specifically for the middle schoolers and the high schoolers, and it will be on site at our office. And the other 2 elementary will be off site at the respective schools. So those are all of the announcements that I have for today. Daryl, do you have any final announcements before we end it?
Nothing more than we're just looking for loving, open, and willing homes at this point to do foster care and adoptions.
You heard that, guys. You saw my heart. Loving. That's the key one, the key word. So thank you so much. Thank you, Daryl, for always being a great co-host. And for everybody that always chimes in and always gives us support, thank you so much. Make sure you share this, continue to share this, because we're going to always need resource parents. And it's really, really important, as we mentioned before, we really need to be the change that we need so that we could see the new generation striving and being better than we were today. So thank you so much, and see you guys next month for episode 9. Bye.
Bye-bye.